Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective, Tran in the building, here live. We're talking Texas football and Tran, we're going to, wrap up the Red River shutout, 49-0 over OU. Very important game coming up here on Saturday against the Iowa State Cyclones. We're going to dive into that matchup. And here at the midseason, 4-2 so far. Kind of some mid-season check-ins on this football team overall, and just vibe with y'all in the chat. So appreciate everybody showing up here. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Really, really appreciate it. Steve, or I said Steve. Tran, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. How you doing, buddy?
Doing well, doing well. And I see some folks already showing up here in the chat, chiming in. Some of our friends. I see some of our Sooner friends in here. So,
For what year? How about them Cowboys? Hey, welcome to us for the past 5 years, buddy. So let us enjoy this while we can. All right.
Yeah, man. I know but you guys have been going through it over there. So, and we'll discuss some of that. Some of that was our fault. How about that? Some of that was our fault. I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors first and foremost. You guys that support this channel and this chat, you guys sponsor us with your love and support, so we appreciate it. But first off, busr.com/fanatic, the official sports book, the official betting partner of Fanatic Perspective. Right now, so if we're talking numbers, the line's gone up to 17, Texas minus 17. The over-under on this game is 49. So if you're looking to bet and you feel really good, Iowa State is, coming in on a 3-game losing streak. They're kind of dipping the other direction right now, and trying to really kind of salvage their season, also at the midway point. So if you're looking to take advantage of all the momentum we have, hit up busr.com/fanatic. Use that promo code SPORTS100FP, 100% free play match on all initial deposits. So up to $1,000 within the first 24 hours. Take advantage. BSR has been tremendous for us here on the channel. Many of you are already taking advantage out there throughout college football and NFL. Secondly,
hey, real quick, you did that way better than I did pre video.
Yeah, we were gonna have Tran run the ad, and that was a did not execute.
Yeah, that was definitely a delay of game right off a kickoff for us.
But Tran, guess what? We have another sponsor.
Yes,
Last Stand Hats, right? And you're wearing some Last Stand Hat merch, right?
Of course.
I got mine also. New sponsor alert. No better time to buy some merch than when everybody's feeling good about the team. So hit up laststandhats.com/fanatic perspective. You can use that promo code Fanatic10, get 10% off at checkout on all merch. We got hats, we got polos coming out. We got some gear on the way. So, your boy will be rocking some gear, might be rocking it on game day. Those of you who are fans of some other colleges, they are onboarding schools constantly. Last Stand Hats excellent company. Many of you are already customers out there. But if you want to support your boy, you want to support Brother Tran, laststandhats.com/fanatic perspective. Let's get it.
True story on them. I only wear snapback hats from them. Otherwise I wear fitted hats. They're the only ones I'll wear snapbacks from.
My guy, Tran, I want to pass it to you, brother, because people haven't heard from you. I know we've talked, but just coming off of what happened in Dallas, I want to kind of say something personal. You told me that if we lost, that I wasn't going to be allowed to go to the game anymore. You and your brother told me this. For those who don't know, Tran's brother played at Texas football and, hooks us up with perks and stuff. And both you and your brother contacted me and said, if we had lost, Steve, you're fired. You can't go to Dallas anymore. And so I'm glad we came. I'm glad it wasn't me, Tran, but I'll hand it over to you and want to get your thoughts and everything, brother. It's good to have you back.
First of all, I didn't know that Jason already reached out to you, but I was being legit about it. I'll be like, man, if they lose to this trash team right now, it don't step on their throat. Steven, you're the guy. You're the guy. You're the variable in this situation. So I'm glad you got to witness history and a shutout for the first time ever in the Red River rivalry on our side. So I was really happy that you got to see our biggest blowout in the whole series. So congrats on that. Um, I was traveling when this movie was when this not movie but this amazing game was going on, and I was watching it on my phone the entire time. My son was watching it. Him and I were both traveling, and in the airport there are a ton of Sooners, and it was just fun just walking down with a shit eating grin, just around the third quarter, just walking around. Hey, you see that? You see that catch by Bijan in the corner? Kept the drive going. Yeah, it looked good, didn't it? So it was like I don't know if you're a South Park fan, but I was essentially like I was essentially Randy Marsh when he found a ghost. So if you look up that meme, you'll know exactly how I was feeling that day. But when I came off of Cloud Nine and I rewatched the game a little bit, some things that I it was encouraging to me was we made adjustments on the defensive side of the ball. The only way that they were moving the ball was through the Wildcat, and you know they tried to do it coming out in the second half, and we shut them down. So finally, we started seeing adjustments. Yes, they didn't have a competent quarterback who has experience throwing the ball or passing the ball, but guess what? We finally made a team pay for that, which that's encouraging to me. And not only that, we dominated. We were the better team, and we proved that we were dominant. Another thing that doesn't get credit enough is Coach Marion has done a great job in the blocking department with our wide receivers. Because if our wide receivers aren't blocking, us getting those quick screens, we're not getting 10, 15 yards every single play. The little wheel routes from the running back position, Roshan I think had two, Bijan had three off of those plays. It's amazing, and huge call out to Jordan Whittington. He's fantastic. He's probably one of the best from blocking at the wide receiver position I've seen since Quan Cosby.
Quick sidebar on Jordan Whittington. I'm glad you brought that up. Dog mentality, as QB School said today. If those who didn't see it, QB School did a quarterback breakdown on Quinn Ewers. It is on YouTube. It's not Patreon. It's straight up there on YouTube. The whole film breakdown is 30 minutes long. He singled out Jordan Whittington, especially on the Keelan Robinson touchdown run, and just the how he's finishing his blocks, the tenacity in which he's playing with. It's such a blessing to have a healthy Jay Witt, all the way half the season end. But I'm glad you brought that up. I'll let you continue, Trey.
The negative from the offensive standpoint, honestly, is there was that interception, but it just looked awkward. It didn't look like his hand was hit and the ball fluttered out. I don't know if it slipped out of his hand or if he hit the. I think the watching rewind or whatever it was, they were saying it might have hit the cable, the cable for um, the the transition cam. But that was a bad throw. Um, I guess we missed a big one off of a slip block. Like it was a fake screen that they did to Jordan Whittington down the field. That was probably one of Quinn Ewers is going to make that 9 times out of 10. It was probably the easiest pass he missed. Um, there's good coaching points on it. I mean, defensively, we did give up a lot in the run game when they had extra blockers in the Wildcat. However, we made the adjustments. We did well on that. We had stops. We forced turnovers. Uh, I would have liked to see our special team execute a little bit better. They gave away a conversion on a fake field goal, and I really wish that Burt Auburn hit that field goal, not to run the score up, but just to see himself hit another one in a big rivalry game.
Consistency wise,
Yeah.
yeah, we don't want to miss field goals like that. No, I agree.
So
Because he's been
those are.
kicking well.
I know it's nitpicky, but if you want to be up in the top tier, you have to be well rounded at all aspects of the game. So
You
I
have to
mean,
nitpick. Yeah, I mean, Sark said it too, even in the ULM game when Quinn threw an early pick, and then he was, almost flawless after that. Outside of some of the misses deep, but I got to have something to coach these guys on, right? And things to talk about. So, ball security still matters. The throwaway, he was trying to throw the football away. It slipped out of his hand and it got picked off. We missed the throw right before that for a touchdown. Those are things, but I'm glad. That shows us, hey, we're playing well. We're playing confident. We're playing with swagger, but we still can get better. We still have so much to work on. Also, Quinn is back. I mean, he's still played. I don't even think he's played 10 quarters total. I don't know how many quarters he's played. Like, it's crazy to think that the chemistry can even get better. Some of the timing can get better. That's what's exciting. We're at the halfway point. We're 6 games in. We got 6 games to go. I think that's why some of us, even though we are going to face a tougher stretch of opponents, and not tougher than Bama, right? Bama's Bama, but in terms of there's no more, Iowa State's really good defensively, regardless of record. Conference opponents, good coaching. A lot of teams that are competing for the Big 12, the right to get to the Big 12 championship. There's a lot. There's a lot on the table schedule wise. However, with Quinn being back and some of the things that I think we're going to see from a development standpoint, it's exciting to see them starting to click and get into rhythm. Jacob Cox, thank you for the super chat. The chat is flying right now. I appreciate y'all. I'm 300 in here. Thank y'all for the love and support. Make sure I hit that like button. But getting to the super chat, Quinn has to send that NIL money up there for those boys' mamas for that child support after Saturday. Jacob got the joke. OU fans, those of you in here, I know only Kuno was in here. Y'all just gotta take it. Y'all just gotta take it. You're going through it right now. Doctor down bad over there, Britt Venables, or as somebody said in the comment section, burnt vegetables. But you know what? We moving forward. Because to me, yes, opponent, all that, whatever. I'm more excited about just our guys and how we're balling and some of the guys that are getting used. When this staff remembers that Jatavian Sanders is on the football team and spams that weapon,
good things happen.
Oh my goodness. What does Surfer Boy say, Tran?
He said Quinn's playing as good as Stetson is right now.
I heard Stetson was banged up a little bit.
He actually showed off some athleticism last week. I think he ran for like a 40 or 50-yard touchdown up the gut. So good for him.
The other thing too is the defensive consistency. I know you mentioned the fake field goal and all that, but even Overshown, we were just talking about in the spaces, like Green Ranger was in here and Coley and just like the whole crew. But even that play, like the athleticism we showed, we still bowed up. OU decided not to take their points. 4th and 1, our big boys in there, our defensive line packages. And so this is what I want you to talk about, Tran. Many of us, myself included, gave up on Keandre Coburn. You were one of the lone people that stayed on the bus with him.
My thick boys. I got to stick with my thick boys.
You stayed with him. And when I say gave up, it was more so like wanting to see
pass
other guys.
The torch. Yeah, pass the torch.
Yeah. Not anything personal, just on the field, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah, of course.
Dude, I will say this. Kieran said this at the spring game, and Kieran deserves credit for this as well. And a lot of people laughed at Kieran when he said, hey, Keandre's in good shape in the spring, and he's like, I like the way he looked coming off the ball. And Bo Davis was doing fake conditioning tests with him in the middle of the scrimmage by having him act like he was going to sub him, run all the way to the sideline, and then say stay on, and had him run back. And then he fired off the ball. Keandre, I just want to speak to this. We are seeing players on this team that have been in this program for years that have underperformed to their abilities. And I want to give the players credit for sticking with the staff, getting their bodies right, learning, just maturing. That's number one. I want to give the staff credit for getting them there and sticking with them. A lot of football coaches don't have that type of patience. I'm not going to name names, but they'll just say, oh, the guy's not there. He's not where I need him to be. But as long as the kid is engaged and wants to learn and wants to get better and is willing to be vulnerable with the coach, and the coach is willing to be a teacher, then we're starting to get people that we always knew what they were capable of, but now they're really, really starting to develop. So I'll let you go on Coburn, man, because you never wavered in your support for that, brother.
No, I didn't. I was getting to the point where I was with you. It's like we honestly need depth. I knew we need depth across the D line, and of course, we need depth across both lines, offensive and defensive. So, regardless if he was starting or not, I knew we were going to need him when he announced that he was coming back. Him and T Sweat were coming back, and those two have just played fantastic. I mean, that is the strength of our defense, is right up the gut, and they have held their gaps. They've gotten pressure up the middle. The only way people are really busting off big runs are honestly outside the tackles. So I'm just them, and it's certain things like I think it was the Texas Tech game where they zoomed in on a replay at the goal line that T Sweat blew up a play, and Keandre was there as well. You saw the coaching you were talking about that you were giving credit for. You saw violent hands where the I think it was the left guard was trying to get his hands on him, and T Sweat came down and swatted him down and pushed him away. And we haven't seen that in so long. So just proper technique from the defensive tackle position. I'm extremely happy with the play, and I know we still have six games ahead of us, regular season games ahead of us, but to have what is it, 4 out of the 5 defensive linemen in the Big 12 top rated up there, that's fantastic.
I mean, Bo Davis, and it's funny because the opponent we're getting ready to face is where everything happened, right? And that's why I said this can't be a letdown spot. This can't be a trap game or any, like, this is a conference opponent that whooped your ass last year and embarrassed you and made you make one of the most ridiculous videos ever, but also a turning point in our program, and a very real moment for people. And so this should be revenge. This should be opportunity. And we'll get into Iowa State here in a second. I'm not ready to dive all the way in, but I think this is a very good question from Michael here. Thank you, for the donation. But he says, I'm very, very excited too, but are we overreacting after one game? Is it okay to have championship expectations already? So let me jump into this, Tran, because I think we can have this is actually something I wanted to talk about anyway, because it's a split. We haven't seen quarterback play like this at Texas in eons, to where we feel like he can just, with his abilities and whatnot, we can't be stopped. That's number one. B, the advanced analytics, and Nash is in here, and when you start to look at what the top teams in the country look like, even with the 2 losses, Texas is grading very high in every advanced metric you can look at. And when you look at their losses, I mean, it's like, okay. And Grant, I was highly critical of the Tech loss. I still stand by everything I said and who I put that loss on. However, it's not with we now have a 6 game sample size. And when this defense is shutting people out and holding people under 20 points, and they're consistent at the line of scrimmage, guys, I've preached on this channel the fastest way to get your ass in the college football playoffs and be in that discussion is defensive line play. I've been consistent on saying that. If you look at the creme de la creme teams, whether it's Georgia, whether it's Bama, whether it's been Clemson over the years, the teams that are constantly there, Michigan got there last year, elite defensive line play. It's not a secret. I mean, I'm not saying that's the end all be all, but that's one of the indicators of physicality, dominating the line of scrimmage. We are ahead of schedule with the offensive line, in my opinion, especially from a pass blocking perspective. I think down this last stretch, my challenge to them is to really find their stride in their run blocking these last 6 games. But when we look at the lines of scrimmages and the fact that Texas has a story with not having their quarterback for 3 games, there's real conversation there. Our goal was to get to the Big 12 championship game and try to win the Big 12, right? All that's still on the table, so that's not far-fetched. I do think this team, for me, Tran, before I pass it to you, they've answered the question about physicalness and athleticism and talent. I have no question about us being able to line up and whoop somebody's ass all 6 of these games. I'm being dead ass serious. They have everything you could want. Assuming health, they can line up and whoop everybody's ass. The question is, how do they handle success? The question is, are they going to be mentally tough to do what they need to do every single week, especially as all of us are here, start drinking more Kool-Aid and we start gassing them up a little bit more? Because that's been a problem in this program is when we get a little bit of success, then we trip over our feet or do something stupid. What happens? We can't get in our own way. There's a reason why this game, Iowa State is ranked 8th in the country defensively, and we are 17-point favorites. Think about that. The analytics back Texas. The story backs Texas. My question to the staff and the players is, do you have what it takes upstairs to be strong? If you have a slow start one week and you're down 14-0, where you can get yourself out of it like the 2000s teams used to do and still go and beat somebody up. That's what I need to see. They got to prove that to me still. Yep. But in terms of the physical and the questions I had, those have been answered for me. Tran, what say you?
Yeah, so I'll touch it first on the very first question. Are we overreacting after one game? Yes, we are, a little bit in my eyes, because you're only as good as your next game, to tell you the truth. So if we come out and lay an egg against Iowa State, we're going to be on here talking shit about what went wrong, who's to blame, pointing fingers on what had happened. So if we are overreacting, thinking that we're just great, because to be honest, OU's not a great team. They don't have a quarterback. They don't have people to move the ball. Their defense just looked discombobulated. So it is a step up in competition, even though they have lost 3 straight games. Because defensively, we know that Matt Campbell will coach up for Texas. We know it. So we have to come in with a game plan. Good thing is that we were playing a similar defense that they like to run, and we shredded it. And
yeah, OU is running a lot of 3 high safety, and they have Woody in the middle there. But no, I completely agree. I still have somebody put up here about the running quarterbacks. That's definitely a concern I have down the stretch. Deckers Deckers can move, but he's not really a runner. So I'm not too concerned about that this week. But when we play Duggan, Martinez,
Sanders
yeah.
too. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't want to even focus on the other games, because that is killer row. I think we have 4 games right now in a row that are top 25 teams after this game. So, but we need to come in, handle our business at home, and then we can focus on them. So
Absolutely.
Yes, are we overreacting about one win? Yes, but we should be happy about it because that was complete domination. We should be happy about it.
And
Uh,
it was a mental block we needed to get over,
yeah,
Tran.
yeah, of course,
We had to get
especially
over it.
yeah, and especially the way that we lost last year because we dominated the first 2.5 quarters, and then that happened. So it was great that we came in and we basically put OU out of the Big 12 championship conversation. Honestly, we finally did what I've always wanted us to do, and that's step on their throat. What was the second question? Championship?
Oh, well. I mean, honestly, I think we're all kind of all on the same page. Quinn said we're scared to be good. No, they need to prove it to me.
Yeah.
I ain't nobody scared, brother. They gotta prove. They gotta prove that I know. Like I said, they've answered my question about their abilities, especially when Quinn is on the field. The possibilities are endless, but
Well,
they
if
gotta,
you
they gotta execute,
if you
right?
notice when Quinn's on the field, our coaching staff is way more confident. They're calling like they're like, hey, guess what? We're gonna throw a slip screen with our two worst offensive linemen pulling, and we're gonna get 15 yards. Like they did a fake look off screen that I haven't seen all year. That I'm sure that Hudson Card could pull off. They throw an over the shoulder seam route to the tight end. Did we see that with
Beautiful
Hudson
layers,
Card?
bro.
Yeah, for a touchdown. I
Beautiful
mean,
layers, bro.
you see the coaching staff like puff their chest out a little bit, like, okay, we can move the ball and we can open up our full playbook with this guy.
Yeah, I mean, look. At the end of the day,
Sure.
I've been what where I'm coming in is I've been tortured as a fan for too
Mm-hmm.
long, where we're supposed to do something and then we all of a sudden magically don't do it or get in the way. I love this team. I'm drinking more Kool Aid, all right, but they have not fully earned the benefit of the doubt of mental toughness that is needed to say confidently, "Oh, they're just going to run the table and do all this." I hope they do. I'm not trying to. But right now, as we're sitting here, our best win is UTSA.
And we haven't won on the road.
That's we haven't won on the road,
Yeah.
and our best win is UTSA. All I'm saying is I need to see them continue this momentum. They so far West Virginia, OU, they've showed us back-to-back weeks. They've played good football. We're seeing. I'm enjoying the journey. Is was really what I'm saying. I've been preaching this. By the way, I picked this team to go 9-3. Okay, so I'm not out here saying, I thought we were. But that would mean if I pick them 9-3, that means 5-1 to finish the season, right? I think a lot of people now feel like Texas can go 6-0. But right now, you got to beat Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
String together another week, right? String together another week of people being graded highly, playing with confidence, where we're getting the praise and we accept the praise and that's part of our expectation. Okay, because we already know Texas is always going to be hunted. That's not what it is. But I just feel as though you still have all these teams coming down the stretch who I know you can beat, even on the road, but they got to show it to me. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Agreed. Real quick, while you're looking up another question on the chat, one person that hasn't been called out a lot is Anthony Cook. Anthony Cook has been playing, he's been balling out, and he's probably making himself some money because I feel like he's draftable.
Let's do this right now before we get into Iowa State and matching up with them. It's midseason. All right. We also that's another thing. The last 4 years at this point of the year we were 4-2. Is that
Yep,
true? The last like
I
4 years,
think so.
going back to like
I think so.
2018.
I think so.
This point of the year, we've been 4-2 every single time. So we're 4-2 now. But at this midway point, Who do you want to give flowers to? I thought we just did this exercise on the live chat or on Twitter Spaces that Green ran, and I thought it was a really great exercise. Um, I want to give flowers to Kyle Flood and
Okay.
the offensive line. They, to me, are ahead of schedule. I've loved what I've seen from Kelvin Banks. He looks like a future All-American, quite frankly, and somebody who will be a very high draft pick. Very,
He'll
very
be
high
an
draft
All American this year. Not
freshman,
a freshman All American. Yes.
freshman
Let
All-American.
me
Yeah,
clarify that.
yeah.
He will be an All American this year.
But I just the struggles they've had, and they're not perfect, but they're so. We had real concerns coming into the season about pass pro and who was playing tackle. Remember those conversations? You guys remember those long nights of who the tackles were going to be, and that's honestly become such a strength of our football team. Christian Jones playing himself in the money, sell and recruiting older guys to be developed and performing like that. Same thing we said with Keandre Coburn, flowers to Bo Davis. I said it on Twitter. I mean that. I want Bo Davis to get a game ball after we whoop Iowa State's ass. But this offensive line and how far, and we haven't seen Cam Williams has been playing in there. DJ hasn't really gotten going yet. There's so much growth that still can happen, I think, over these last 6 games, and the depth that is being built. And
I think I lost you, Steven. But Steven, honestly, I agree with a lot of the people that you're posting up there for your flowers. Mine, if we're going off a coaching staff, I got to go defensive line. Because at first, I was a little bit worried in regards to them. Um, I was worried that we don't have any pressure on the outside of us getting to the quarterback. I thought our best pass rusher was probably a Gofu, but it turns out that Moro Jomo is probably our best pass rusher. But the fact of the matter is that for I'd say 5 out of the 6 games we've controlled that side of the ball. I think Texas Tech did a really good job at attacking us at our weak points, and plus we didn't have Ojamo at that in that game. So I really do think that Bo Davis deserves some flowers for that. Plus, like you said earlier in this chat, um, the turnaround game was him on the bus. That like 15 or 25-second clip of him saying get in the transfer portal and calling people out essentially by name. So and you see people like Byron Murphy, and you see people like Keandre Coburn, and just they step their games up. And we talked about them playing with violent hands. Another coach I think that deserves some flowers is Jeff Banks. I think our special teams was a question mark for us when we had to replace Dicker the kicker. But I mean, if you saw how we kicked off the season, our first score was a special team score. Bert Auburn has been very consistent, other than that last kick that he had. So I think Bo Davis and Jeff Banks, do deserve some flowers. If we're talking about from a player perspective, one person that's not going to get called out is Hudson Card. He knew that he was in a losing situation in the competition game, because the person that you are going to be backing up, how good of arm talent he is. And I'm glad that Steve Sarkisian wrote him a thank you note after when he stepped in for this game. It's just to give him that recognition, to say, hey, you manned the ship when when we needed you. And he stepped up as a leader in that regard. And I think he deserves a lot of credit, because Now, if something, knock on wood, if something bad does happen to Ewers, we have a competent quarterback right behind him that knows the system and has had that experience playing within the system.
It's tough being a backup quarterback like in Hudson's case, especially when we want to play, and he held us afloat and developed, and that again speaking to the coaching. So I completely agree. Um, the other thing I wanted to talk about, another guy who's been hit on was Deshaun Jameson. A lot of people are ready to see us move on from Deshaun Jameson at field corner, and he's played really good football this year. I still want him to try to get his hands on some more picks and turn the football over, but I've been impressed with Deshaun. And while I always don't understand or agree with their substitution patterns on defense, we're just getting really solid play and communication back there from the secondary across the board, and I just feel as though the sky's the limit with that group. Jaron Thompson, just playing with the football IQ has improved, the communications improved. People are recognizing things like you said, the Wildcat and Willis package that OU just adjusting to that and just saying, you know what, we're not going to allow this to beat us for 4 quarters. Got off some stuff, we downloaded it. We'll take that away from you. And I have this too, and I said this on the spaces. I challenge Overshown's had a really good season. I think he's had a really good year. I'm challenging him to be great down these last 6 games. My buddy Jay Bass, he was on there and he said he played disciplined football this year, and he has. He's been better with cleanup, either taking away a guy to allow his teammate to make a play. We're seeing a lot more across the board from guys on defense like that. But with Overshown, with his athleticism, his ability, like that field goal, I know he was not even in the play, and he goes and walks that guy down. Overshown has the ability to be great. I want to see down these last 6 games forcing fumbles, getting hand tip passes, strip sacks, things of just more disruption. That's my challenge. And you can't challenge everybody. Not everybody has greatness in them or the ability to do that. But for me, if I'm in that room, whether I'm Jeff Choate or whoever or PK, I'll just say, hey man, you've played good football this year. You're doing what we're asking you to do. Give me more. Give me more. I want you to be great. And so that's my challenge, especially down this stretch, our most important stretch. These next 6 games are going to define a lot because, like I said before, the last few years we've been 4-2, 4-2, 4-2. And now we're here, but it feels different. It looks different. The team is responding differently. We're trending differently. The analytics are behind us. Let's go validate that. Let's go force some conversations with the playoff committee, right? Let's go do what we're supposed to do and be the team we can physically be every single week, right? And so I think there's some guys that we can go and ask them to be great. Jahdae Barron is a guy I'm seeing play with swagger on defense. That's a guy who I'm seeing have a air of confidence to him. I'd like to see more guys play with that type of swagger, and the football's finding him. But I've been impressive. But down this last stretch of games, the big question too: how we'll defend mobile quarterbacks down the stretch? How we'll defend teams that really start to understand our tendencies and see certain things. We got to see it play out, but I think it's okay to feel good about the football team right now, but also be honest with ourselves and say, all right, we still need to beat a good team. We still need to beat somebody that's good, right? Like our resume is we're trying to build our resume. So this week, this is a good, this team that we're playing as we transition to Iowa State, Tram, they're really good defensively. They're top 10 defense. They're holding people down, but they've lost 3 straight games and they can't score. Right? I mean, the spread. I mean, your 3 score favorites. Handle your business.
Yeah. With that said, though, I mean they have weapons. Xavier Hutchins in his 36th year at Iowa State, um, and he's always given us problems. Honestly, so and I think he's leading. He's leading them, of course, in receiving yards. I think he's way more than what our leader is as well. But we spread the ball around, so he's the guy. And then I think Deckers he'll give us opportunities at the ball. We have to make him pay for it. I mean, if we can give our offense extra possessions, we have to do it. Great teams do that. So that's what I want to see change from our defense. Continue owning the line of scrimmage. Don't let their running back. What's his name? Brock is his name. Um, don't
Oh,
let him. Don't
yeah,
let
yeah.
him go off for some stupid one-time game that we always seem to give up. Is like, oh, one dude just blows up against us. Don't do that. Don't let don't let Campbell have his little magic that he has against us, and just if you're the better team, just go out there and dominate. Prove it.
Uh, we have a super chat here from Vicente. Appreciate you, brother. Uh, said my high school played Hunter Deckers in the quarters his sophomore year. He lit us up. We lost. Huge Longhorn fan living in Iowa. Excuse me. My Cyclone friends are quiet this week. Good to see Tram back.
What is it with this
Good to
trad
see.
back thing? Like even in the airport, I had a couple people like, "Hey, how come you haven't been on the chats or anything like that?" Dude, I got things to do too. I got a family. I want to be out here, trust me, but I got some responsibilities. I can't be an absentee father.
Man, you're a college student.
Yeah.
You got a lot going on, brother. Forrest said we're playing them at a good time. No, no, are going to be going into obviously a very hostile environment. 2:30 kickoff for Oklahoma State, which I don't want to look. I don't want to look past Iowa State. I mean, I know they're as Floyd Mayweather used to say on offense, they're straight up and down, no special effects when you watch them. But defensively, and what Heacock is doing, Heacock's one of the guys that these coaches, not just in college but NFL as well, go and study with. Dan Quinn included. Some of the concepts that OU was trying to install, that three safety look, Oklahoma State, when they had um, the guy that went over to Ohio. I was the guy from Oklahoma State that went to Ohio State. All those principles, Heacock has been one of the guys that has been the masters of that. They communicate very well. They don't give up cheap crap. Now they gave up a cheap one early in the game last week, but for the most part, they've been sound, and we've seen that over the years. And Will McDonald's coming in here trying to get Brandon Miller's sack record for the Big 12.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cole said it. I mean, it's not even trying to be disrespectful. Jim Knowles, thank you, Jenna. Jim Knowles is who I was thinking about. They really are struggling. I mean, we're talking about 9 points, 11 points, and and I think we can feel better, especially the way we've played at home defensively. I mean, Iowa State's defense is really good, but they're not holding us to 10, right? Like they're not holding us to. This is just one of those things where I just don't see the person. I mean, this is a good test for that side of the ball, but offensively, for on the Iowa State end, this is these left hand guys like Hunter Deckers. I just I don't see it. I don't see it. Trey, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Okay, I'm just reading the.
No, you're good. Yeah, man. Like I said, if you're better, go out and improve it. That's and use the momentum that you had from this last game and carry it on. Carry it on. Get better. Get better. Get better. Because you got a different challenge this game. You have a more established coach that knows how to game plan for you, and who, quite frankly, kicked your ass last season. So he knows how to game plan for you. So make those adjustments in your favor. And I mean, I think talent wise, right now, I think Texas has better talent if I were to say that. But anything can happen regardless of what talent you have there. I felt like we were more talented last year, and we got our asses kicked.
We weren't locked in at that point, and we weren't ready to play football. I mean, Casey Thompson, it was cold, his thumb hurt, he was gone. Hudson Card wasn't ready to play. It was just a mess. What I'm excited to see is Quinn Ewers navigate against this defense, because I like the fact that we didn't. It's going to sound weird, but we didn't, because we didn't have these like massive last week, just executed over and over, and we went on 8, 9, 10, 12 play drives, layered throws, taking what the defense gave us. He's always, I feel like he's gotten this unfair reputation early on, and I think he's starting to disprove that of, oh, he's just all arm and all this type of stuff. No, Bubba, he is cooking. He is changing speeds, velocity on his throws, understanding where to fit the ball in. And a lot of this is also Steve Sarkisian and the play design and the play calling of giving him these wide open options by design. A lot of people saying, I started hearing people say, well, oh, you had busted coverages. No, that was by design, right? Like, the play is to cause confusion. Steve runs like a double post concept to give that safety a 2-on-1 for the quarterback to make a decision on where to go, or the crosser layered with the deep post to put people in conflict. So those busted coverages are different. That's not what was happening against OU. If there was busted coverages, we would have had 80-yard touchdowns. We would have had 60-yard walk-in touchdowns, right? But what I am pleased with, and what I think is kind of our X factor, is Quinn's ability just to take what the defense is giving him and, hit a 15-yard dig. It's there, I'll take it, and keep it moving. And we marry that with run game, and we have our run game look married up with our play action. I don't think we can be touched in that regard. Personally, I think we're really going to put, as good as they are, that's putting people in severe conflict.
And if we could actually, if we could run the ball early, it sets up those plays easily. Because if Bijan starts having a big game early on in the game, they can't just drop into coverage like they normally do. So they're gonna have to respect the run, especially if they start controlling the clock and moving the chains.
Homer said, this is a very, very, exactly. A lot of people don't understand this, right? For example, the Worthy touchdown in the Tech game, the first big play that Hudson Card hit, that was a busted coverage. You got two people looking at each other, two people go and take the candy underneath. He gets released into open field. That is a busted coverage. That's not what the defensive coordinator wanted the defense to look like. What Sark is doing, what we're talking about, is where he is putting safeties or corners or whoever is by design, and he's saying, hey, this person cannot get to that angle. I know my quarterback is very defined for him. Either we're going to take this dig, we're going to take this guy sitting down over here, or we're going to be able to throw the post, right? And so we got to understand the differences there. And I think because of the patience that we've seen with a young quarterback and Quinn Ewers, even on the screen stuff, it's that turnaround throwback screen. Those are little things, but it's difficult to execute that the way he's doing, and understanding, some of the concepts they're doing. And again, QB School broke this down great. Some of the RPO, almost like a, flood concept type that we're doing, where we're running rail and sail concepts all to the, and it's madness, right? That's putting people in conflict. So when you see somebody wide open, you can communicate all you want to, but there's so much coming at these kids on defense. That's by design. That's Steve Sarkisian and what they're doing. So
Yeah, and
um,
even he kind of brought that up. He kind of brought that up in the last rewind episode where I think it was a dig route in the back of the end zone for Worthy that they missed out on. He even said that he goes, I shouldn't have dialed that one up because I should have known exactly the space to actually get that route ran. So that is something that I haven't even factored in into his play calling, which is a good call out by you and a Homer.
yeah, the play calling married with the ability. Look, play calling's great. Jatavian's great, and he's getting open, but it does. You still need a quarterback that can make that throw in front of behind the linebacker and in front of the safety and layer it. So when you have that marriage of everything, that's how we can attack this defense. But there's going to be some challenges early in this game. There's going to be some challenges early in this game to combat what Iowa State will do up front. We're going to have to wear them down, I think, in the run game and be strategic there. Bend don't break means matchup to a lot of coaches. No, I definitely would recommend the QB school video. It's good stuff. There's and look, we're starting to see more guys get on the field too. Jaleel Billingsley will be back. He is now a free man. Um, I know some people, there's been debate on how much he'll be used. This coaching staff loves jumbo package. I don't think jumbo package is going anywhere, guys. They love that package. Honestly, from a numbers game standpoint, if the way Iowa State defends the box and the run game is unique and it's creative, but from a number game standpoint, numbers are numbers still, and
Yeah.
you still can run jumbo. Um, so all I'm saying is, don't get fixated on like why this person isn't in or why this person isn't playing more or things like that. Some of this is going to be by design of the opponent of what they're presenting, and I think we know that this staff loves the jumbo package. We're going to continue running it. That's not going anywhere.
I have heard that Billingsley with him and Jatavian on the field, everyone has been saying that's like a cheat code. They say their defense can't stop their offense when both of them are on the field. So I'm interested to see it actually live in game.
Van Helisa said, as long as we don't run the jumbo package, I'm good. Y'all done with the jumbo? We're going to run jumbo package, guys.
Are they talking about when they put down
Garrett.
Keandre and
No, 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 no. They're talking
like the
about
goal
when we
line
go
package?
with Andre Garrett.
Oh, okay, Carrick. Okay, gotcha.
So I see a lot of predictions rolling in. Trent, how you feeling about the game overall, man? You got us handling business, and do you have us covering the 17?
No, and it's all due to ball control. I think that they can move the ball. I don't think that they'll get a ton of touchdowns on us, maybe one, but I think they'll move the ball, and I think they'll play try to cut down the time of possession. That's the way that Texas Tech has produced. Said, hey, this is how you beat the team. You move the sticks, wear them down. Hopefully, it's close in the fourth quarter. That that's what I think that Matt Campbell's gonna game plan for is to try to just move the sticks, whether it's like 4 yards here, 5 yards here, 3 yards here, move the sticks, and then just repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Maybe take a shot every once in a while because you do have Xavier Hutchins to keep the defense honest. So I actually think it's gonna. I think it's. I'm gonna say 31-20 Texas.
31-20.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I actually think I don't see Iowa State having that type of success holding on to the ball. I like the matchup with Hutchinson, whether it's Watts or how we, if we do any type of bracket. Um, but who else can hurt me over there on Iowa State? I mean, anybody can hurt you, but
Yeah.
if they had, even if for all as crazy as Brock Purdy was, he would give you the ball. He would do stuff, but I don't see that with Hunter Deckers. To be honest with you,
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
yeah, I think this defense is going to eat, brother. Um,
You're kind of freezing up on my end, but you may not be. Yeah, I'm just this is me with my Texas fan eyes, where I'm just nervous about this game for some reason. I don't want to overlook them at all, and I know that they're the worst quote unquote offensive team in the Big 12, but the past 5-6 years, that's the type of team that beats us down. I'm just To me, it's just a nervous thing that I'm just calling that out. But I think Matt Campbell's one of the best coaches in the Big 12, and I think if anyone could muster up some points against Texas, that he'll figure it out. He'll have something. He'll have something in regards to game plan for us. Another thing is, the one thing I do like is that we have had a couple games at 11 o'clock back to back, so we know how to prep for it. Game day prep for it is a lot. It has a lot to come into it when it comes with college athletes. They're technically kids, so I'm. It's just me just putting out a number. I don't want to disrespect Iowa State at all because they have dominated us in recent memory. And what happens when this team actually faces adversity? Are they gonna are they gonna are they gonna do like what Coach McGuire said and just like they're gonna wilt, or are they gonna actually rise to the occasion for once?
I want to address the super chat here, and I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting a new computer, so this
You're good.
hopefully this will close some of this. This is more of a computer issue than it is a
McDonald's
connection.
Wi-Fi. That's what they say.
Yeah, but yeah, the Wi-Fi is anyway. I don't see them. I don't know how they're going to sustain offense. They might be, I don't know if Iowa State's going to score a touchdown.
I
I,
hope
I don't
not. I
know.
hope I'm completely wrong. I hope it's an easy, non-stressful game. Trust me. But how many times have we been burnt?
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's more of a show me type thing
Yeah.
than it is anything else. It's more of a just come over here and flex. Like Roger Rodriguez score where I'm at. I think there's this like 38-13 or something like that. I I just think that we're gonna be really good. And Quinn because of his ability not to take the candy, even though I do think we'll have opportunities at some point to take some shots. We had some opportunities to take shots last year. We just missed them. But overall, I think I expect this team to come out at 11 a.m. and just keep the party going. I really, really do. Um, I see everybody, let me address some of these. So that's one thing. We ran more trick plays against West Virginia than we did against OU.
We had a
By
wide
the way,
receiver throw the ball before Roshan got to throw the ball.
um, 31-17 Tech. So he actually has Iowa State covering CFP pick. does, which is interesting. I missed the earlier super chat that I want to get to. Sharice, thank you for the donation. Am I the only one that's noticed our inability to put the ball in? I've heard a lot of people talk about this.
Plan. I think it's planned because if you have a college kicker, trust me, they can kick it out of the end zone. I think it's planned because if you notice the trajectory he kicks it with, and it actually has a side spin to it, which actually throws it off a little bit. Plus, I think
Also,
that we like our athletes.
When he kicked it end over. Whenever he kicks it end over end,
Yeah,
he is getting touchbacks. It's just when I some of it is by design.
yeah, and also I think they really like our athletes running down. I think that they believe giving up like five extra yards is. I don't know what the analytics say about it by putting it at the 25 and making people actually return it to the 18 or the 20. I don't know what the analytics say about actual scoring drives, but I'm sure it goes up if it's at the 25 versus the 18 or the 20. Yeah, exactly. Homer just said the same thing essentially.
Every Iowa State game, they never call PI. You know what's good about blowouts? You don't have to deal with the refs. When you whoop somebody's ass, we don't have these conversations. We can leave Tracy and them alone. We only talk about refs. Now look, not everybody on the schedule's a slouch. This team has the ability to keep them close just with their defense alone, and I respect their defense. So, but at the end of the day, if you do what you're supposed to do, we ain't talking about officiating. It's even as bad as the Big 12 refs are. And look, they even tried to lock up my boy Demo, and we weren't having it.
Even though they did lock him up. What's up? We're not having it, but he got locked up.
Anyway, we're going to wrap up here. I just wanted to say thank you. Again, I'm going to be recording with Mike Murphy from the Horn Report, as well as owner of Last Stand House. And that's sponsored by Horn Sports, so stay tuned for that video. We're going to continue to have some other stuff pump out, but I just appreciate everybody coming in the chat, showing love and support, and us having this conversation. Just mid-season checkpoint. Drop in the chat in the comment section who some of your mid-season favorites have been, and some challenges, things you want to see over the next 6 games. That'd be dope. Anything else you want to add, Tran, or
I just want to wish an early happy birthday to my son Jordan. His birthday's tomorrow, so happy birthday, Jordan. He's kind of our biggest critic. Definitely, he compared Steven to what's his name, Mr. Beast, because Steven doesn't give away PlayStation 5s. We need to step our game up, according to him. So, happy birthday, Jordan. We're going to hang out, gag a game. I'm not going to mention his surprise, but yeah, we're good. Happy birthday, bud.
I can't wait till he sees the surprise. He's going to be we're going to have to record his reaction. But because he watches this, we can't say what it is. And you know what, Jordan? No, I'm not Mr. Beast, but I know you personally. I love you, buddy. Mr. Beast ain't out here showing love like this to you personally. Like I am. So maybe one day.
But I am. So
maybe one day. Anyway, Tran.
What's up, buddy?
I think my connection is struggling again, but just wanted to give a quick shout out to the sponsor, BUSR. BUSR.com/Fanatic, the official sponsor, the official sportsbook, the official betting partner of Fanatic Perspective. Guys, hit that promo code Sports100FP. 100% free play match on all initial deposits. 100% up to $1,000 first 24 hours as you get in there. So take advantage of that. I know a lot of us are feeling good right now. If you think Texas is going to cover the 17 points, go ahead and throw some money at it. You think, this game's going to be under the 49 or over, you have opportunity to take advantage. Big college football weekend. Alabama at Tennessee, USC, Utah. Some big, big, big games, big matchups going on. So can't wait. Also, want to give a quick shout out to our new sponsor, last slash fanatic perspective promo code fanatic. So you'll see there as you check out 10% off all of your purchases there on laststandhas.com. Really happy to have him on. We'll have Mike Murphy on tomorrow from the Horn Report as well.
Yes,
But
sir.
appreciate y'all so much for being in here and hanging out with us. But let's go get this W this weekend, Tran, and keep the party rolling. Get to 5-2. What,
Of
what
course,
say
man.
you?
Let's do
Yep.
it.
All right. Well, guys, I appreciate everybody being in here. And remember, horns always up. Peace.